morning year 4, and this is your maths video for if you've got this booklet on Thursday the 28th of January. Now before we get started, I just want to say two very big well dones. The first one is to Tyler and the second one is to Alex. Your effort at home has been brilliant, boys, so please keep it up, and I hope I can start to say congratulations and well done to lots more children. Okay, so just before we get started then, I've got some 2-digit numbers on my board and we're going to find 10 more and 10 less. And the first thing we've got to think about is which digit changes. Is it the tens digit or is it the ones digit? Okay, so it's our tens digit, isn't it? Brilliant. So I'm just going to highlight those to help you at home. Okay, so that's all my tens digits now highlighted. And I've got to now think, what is 10 less than 53? So I'm going to focus on the digit in my tens column. The 5, that's worth 50. And what's 10 less than 50? It's 40, isn't it? Well done. And then the 3, because it's in our ones column, just stays the same. Okay, so now if we wanted to find 10 more, again we're focusing in the tens column at the digit 5, that's worth 50. And we've got to find 10 more. 10 more than 50 is 60, well done. And the ones digit stays the same, so 10 more is 63. Now I want you to pause the video and see if you can find out 10 more and 10 less than the rest of my 2-digit numbers. Okay, so well done for having a go at home. Let's see if together you got the right answer. So 10 less than 67. 6 is going to become smaller, so it's going to be 57. And 10 more, the 6 is going to become bigger to 77. Okay, this time I'm going to have 64 and 84. 81, 10 less than 81 is 71, and 10 more than 81 is 91. Now the last one is really tricky, so 10 less than 99 is 89. Well done if you got that one at home. But 10 more is going to bridge into 100. Okay, so an extra well done if you manage to get this one. It would be 109. Okay, fantastic effort so far, year 4. So this week we've been looking at multiplication. We've learned lots of different words for multiplication. We've learned how to do it using repeated addition and how to do it using a number line. So we're going to have a quick recap of those before we start with today's brand new learning. Okay, so here I've got a multiplication question, 4 times 3, which is the same as 4 lots of 3. Okay, and if I was to write that as a repeated addition, remember we're focusing on this digit. So we'd have 4 lots of 3. So that would be 3, add 3, add 3, add 3. And that was like the learning that we did on Monday, wasn't it? Okay. So now we're going to have a quick go on a number line. This is what we did yesterday. So each jump is going to be worth 3. And we're going to make 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the answer 12 here. If I added all of these 3's together, I would get the answer 12 as well. Okay, So that's just a quick recap on the learning that we've already done so far. So your learning question for today then, Year 4, for our brand new learning is, can I begin to understand division as sharing? Now I know we're fantastic sharers in Year 4, so this shouldn't be too difficult for you. And we're going to start by looking at some other words for division. Okay, so we've got divide. Adding my sound buttons to help you with the reading. Division. Equal groups of, at the bottom there. Share and split. Okay, and all of those words are other words for division. And today we're going to be focusing on sharing. So on my board I've got a problem for us to solve. Share the gems into 6 equal groups. So the first thing we need to do, Year 4, is to count how many gems we've got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what I want you to do today is to go and find some things that could help you. So I've got in school some counters that are going to help me. At home you might not have counters, but you might have pasta in one of your kitchen cupboards, but make sure you ask whoever is at home with you. You might have some toy cars. Okay, so have a think of what you've got lots of at home that you could use to help you today when we are sharing. So I'm just going to quickly flick to the visualiser, where you'll see that I've already got 12 gems. And it asked me to sort these gems into 6 groups. So I'm going to do that now underneath the visualiser. So here are all my gems. I'm going to now share them into 6 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still got some left over, so I'm going to keep going. Making sure I put 1 in each group, because we've got to share equally. Now I've ran out of gems now, and each group has got the same amount. So I've shared my gems equally into 6 groups, okay? And if you have a look in your booklet for today, on page number 14, that's exactly what you've got to do first of all. So you've got some cards, and you've got to split them into 8 groups. So using your pasta or your cards or whatever you've got at home, make sure that you've got this many, okay, and then share it into 8 groups just like I did. And we're going to now move on to the next part of question 1, because they've started to show the division as a division sentence, okay. So let's just scroll back down. Okay then, so once you've shared all of your items at home into 8 groups, you'll then have a question, okay? So my numbers are a bit different because I had different amounts of gems than you've got cards in your booklet. So all together I've got 12 gems. And the number, the total amount that we've got always comes at the start of your division sentence. So that's why I've got that here. Okay, so the total amount, divide, okay, so divided by the number of groups. So I shared mine into 6 equal groups. You shared yours into 8 equal groups. Then we've got our equal sign, and then the amount in each group is your answer. Okay, so I've got 12, because that's how many I've got altogether, divided by 6, because that's my number of groups. And let's have a little look at how many I had in each of my groups. So 12 divided by 6 equals, how many are in a group? It equals 2, doesn't it? Brilliant. So I'm going to pop my answer there. And when you come to this part of your learning year 4, okay, so we're still looking at how many we had here. You've got the first number, which is your total amount. You've got your divide sign. And then the second box, okay, is asking you for the number of groups. So how many groups did you share these into? And then the final box is our answer, which is the amount in each group. Okay, brilliant, great effort so far. And now we're going to have a little look at a question for question 2, which is really similar to what we did yesterday, where we used our number line to help us to multiply. So we're going to focus again, like yesterday, on this digit, and this tells me how big my jumps need to be, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to do a really big jump from 0 to 6, and then 6 to 12. And how many jumps did I make here for? How many big jumps did I make? I made 2, didn't I? Well done. So now I want you to go back to your booklet, and we're going to have a go at question 2. So just like I did on the board, you've got to draw on the number line to work out 15 divided by 5. So that 5 is how big our jumps are going to be. Okay, so we'll do one big jump, another jump, another jump. But don't go past the number 15, because that's how many we've got in total. Okay. So once you've done question 1 and 2, you'll want to start the video again, and we'll have a little look at question number 3. So it says, practice sharing into 3 equal groups. And we know that I'm sharing by 3 because of this number here. Okay, if your number here isn't a 3, if it was a 5, you're going to share into 5 equal groups. If this number was a 2, you're going to share into 2 equal groups. Okay, so this is how many groups we need, and the numbers across the top are the total amounts that you'll need. So I'm going to count out 9 gems, and I'm going to share them into 3 groups. So let's do that under the visualizer. So I need 9 gems. Let's count out my 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I've got to share these now into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then however many I've got in each group is my answer. So you can see that I've got 1, 2, 3 in my group. So the first answer, 9 divided by 3 equals 3. I'm going to have a go now at this one, 12 divided by 3. So let's count out my 12 gems. 9, 10, 11, 12. Going to share them by 3. And in each of my groups, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Okay, and you've got a question just like this for question number 3. Okay, but you're dividing by 2, so you'll have 2 equal groups. Okay, so you might want to pause the video now and quickly have a go at question number 3. Our last type of question for today then, year 4, are some questions that are written as division facts, okay? So, using my prompts at the bottom, so the first number is the total amount, so I've got 5 gems all together, divided by 5, so I'm splitting my 5 gems into 5 groups, which would equal 5, well done. And then the next one then, so this time we've got 15, which is my amount I've got, divided by 5, which is my number of groups, equals, so I'm going to count out my 15 gems. I'm going to share them by 5. And you'll see that in each of my groups I've got 1, 2, 3. So 15 divided by 5 equals 3. And I want you to do just like I've done, so use whatever you're sharing at home to split them into 5 groups to find out your answers. Okay. So once you've finished today's learning, then like always, I've set you a challenge. And it says, I have shared 21 equally into 3 groups. Am I right? Okay, so you've got to think, is Miss Colclough right or wrong? And the key word here, year 4, is equally, which means the same. Okay, so have a look at my groups. Does each group have the same amount? To finish today's learning then, year 4, we're going to spend a few minutes just reflecting on our learning. So we're going to roll my dice. Let's see what number we land on to see what question we need to think of. So I landed on a number 2, which says, what were you most pleased with? So thinking about your maths learning today, what were you most pleased with? What did you do really, really well that you feel really proud of yourself for? Don't forget to take a picture and send it to the year 4 email address.